Be it Sydney with its glamorous mix of beaches, boutiques and bars, or Melbourne with its art and alleyways, or the subtropical town of Brisbane. The oceanic country of Australia has 89% of its population living in the cities along the coast. Australia's population will soon hit 24 million by the end of 2015, and the numbers are growing thanks to the rush of immigrants. In the last 15 years, Australia's migrant population has risen by 2.75 million, mirrored in its restless property market.
The Australian market has been growing very steadily over the last 5 or 6 years. It's definitely a well-supported market through domestic investment, and also there's been significant international investment across the board. If we talk primarily about, for example, the residential market, to keep it simple, investors have enjoyed easily 10 and 12% a year gains over the last 5 or 6 years.
While many believe that the Australian real estate market is severely overpriced, demand is still rising. One factor could be the increase in real estate purchase by foreign nationals, especially the Chinese. India, though, has been missing in action, but experts believe that India is expected to become a major player in the Australian real estate market in a few years, large enough to rival China's leading position.
For typical NRI or Indian investment, it's not just purely an investment in most cases. It's usually an investment associated with family in some cases, prestige in terms of wanting to be investing in a well-known city and location, and thirdly, education is a big motivation.
While high net worth Indians are looking for good realty deals abroad, their investments in real estate in other countries have grown 166% in the last 10 years. Almost 50% of India's HNIs have foreign real estate in their portfolios, which is the highest in the world. And at 42%, Australia's ultra-high net worth individuals come second, followed by Russia.
To a certain extent, HNIs have looked at it from an asset diversification point of view, but it's not as common as I mentioned in terms of UK, US, and Canada.
But Australia is clearly a hotspot for Asian property investors, ranking as most popular for the Chinese, the Indonesians, the Malaysians, the Singaporeans, and indeed, to a lesser extent, Indians.
We've seen Indians in investing in Australia so far has been more in terms of what I would say practical purchases. Family already being there, the desire to immigrate, the desire to support education in terms of a child or a loved one who's attending college.
Be that as it may, new buyers into Australian property need to know that the government there has announced new taxes and fees for foreign buyers, which are expected to kick in starting December 2015. Does this mean the country is not keen on foreign buyers for its real estate?
Yes, foreign investment has been very, very good for Australia, but it's got to be the right foreign investment under the right circumstances, properly policed, and it can't disadvantage Australian home buyers.
While there is opportunity in every region of Australia, there is a great deal of choice. Properties close to the beach, those in posh suburbs, or apartments close to the centre of the major cities are in top demand.
I think from the perspective of Indian investment, being a foreign investor, I would always encourage going to a gateway city in that country. So although there are good investments in lesser known cities without a doubt, I would generally caution to go focus on major markets such as Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane are the three primary markets to look at from a residential point of view. And I think if you pick a well-located property in any of those cities, you'll be protected on a go-forward basis.
8 major cities in Australia have seen house prices rise by almost 7% in 2014, after a rise of about 9.5% in 2013. While Sydney saw the biggest increase, with house prices up by more than 12% in 2014, Brisbane followed with over 5%, Melbourne with 4.5%, and Adelaide with 2.5%. On the flip side, NRIs based in Australia are showing a lot of enthusiasm in the Indian realty market. Take former Australian cricketer Steve Waugh, who has set up a realty portal to cater to the needs of these HNI NRIs waiting in the wings to invest in India.
There's 22 million NRIs around the world with $360 billion worth of wealth, and I know they've got a connection back to their home country. They want to invest back into India. I know a lot of NRIs, I know what their interests are, I know they're very interested in property, but I don't think they've been serviced well over the years. So all those things came together and we decided to start Waugh Global, so servicing the needs of NRIs with a portal designed specifically for NRIs, by NRIs. We've done a lot of research, we know what they want, and we're here to satisfy their needs.
Despite the growth figures, many still question the investment potential of Australia because of the high property prices.
We welcome foreign investment, but it's got to be foreign investment which is in our national interest.
It is perhaps not a market currently that has huge upside, because bear in mind, whether it's the stock markets of the world or certainly the residential sector, we've already seen a lot of capital appreciation. So unless there's some significant market correction on the horizon, which I'm not predicting, but I don't know that there'll be huge upside, but I don't see any downside.
Buying a property in Australia seems like a good proposition right now, as there has been a big reduction in the Australian dollar against the Indian rupee over the last 12 to 18 months.
We're talking about an emerging trend, a future trend in terms of what we're going to see going forward in terms of the Australian market. The Australian market's a good market, and it's a market I do think that the people with sufficient wealth or aspiration in India should take a look at.